Welcome back to another powerful episode in our journey through the science of getting rich by Wallace D. Wattles. Today, we're diving deep into Chapter 2, and this one is a game changer. Because it answers the biggest question of all, can anyone really become rich? And if yes, how? This chapter is not about hope or motivation. It's about certainty. Because wealth, real wealth, is not an accident. It is not a matter of chance, background, luck, or connections. It is a science. Just like gravity pulls objects toward the earth, just like electricity lights a room when the circuit is complete. There is a precise, repeatable method for attracting money and building abundance. And that's what we're about to unlock, right now. So take a deep breath, clear away distractions. And open your mind, because what you're about to hear has the potential to shift your financial reality forever. Let's begin. A science, not a secret. There is a science of getting rich, Wattles says. And it is an exact science, like algebra or arithmetic. There are certain laws which govern the process of acquiring riches. Let that settle in. This isn't guesswork. This isn't reserved for the lucky. This is law. And laws don't discriminate. They don't favor the rich over the poor, the educated over the uneducated, or the extroverted over the introverted. They just work. Every single time, when applied the right way. That means if you do what others did to become rich, in the same way, you must become rich too. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when. But if you violate these laws, if you go against the science, then no matter how hard you work, how good your intentions are, or how much talent you have, you will struggle financially. Not because the world is unfair, but because you're not aligned with the principles that create wealth. What science really means. So what do we really mean by science? Let's simplify it. Science is the study of cause and effect. It says, when you do X, you get Y. Every time. That's how we build planes, design skyscrapers, develop medicine, and launch rockets. We rely on laws, not luck. Now, apply that same logic to wealth. There is a cause behind every dollar earned. A cause behind every fortune built. And if you can identify and apply that cause, you can produce the same result. This means that getting rich is not a matter of environment, economy, or circumstances. It's a matter of learning the laws, and living by them. Wattles calls this approach doing things in a certain way. And those two words, certain way, become the golden thread that runs through this entire philosophy. It means acting with purpose, with clarity, and in alignment with universal law. More on that shortly. The universal substance, the thinking stuff. Now here comes one of the most profound truths in the book. Wattles writes, there is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which, in its original state, permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe. A thought, in this substance, produces the thing that is imaged by the thought. Take a moment with that. What he's describing is what today we might call the quantum field, infinite intelligence, or creative consciousness. It is the invisible, intelligent energy that underlies all physical matter. Everything you see, buildings, cars, technology, money, even your body, all began as thought in the mind of someone. That thought, when sustained and impressed on this formless substance, took shape in the material world. In other words, thought is not passive. Thought is creative. When you think a thing, with focus, clarity, and emotion, you activate unseen forces that begin shaping your external world to match your internal vision. Just as a blueprint guides the construction of a building, your thoughts guide the construction of your life. The role of faith and purpose. But there's a catch. Not every thought becomes reality. Why? Because only the thoughts that are held with unwavering belief and definite purpose have the power to imprint themselves on the universal substance. If your thoughts are scattered, if your emotions are full of doubt, if you imagine wealth in one moment and worry about debt in the next, then you send a confused signal, and the creative process cannot operate effectively. This is why faith is essential. Faith is not blind optimism. Faith is a steady inner knowing that what you think with intention and alignment will absolutely come into form. That's the key. You must think the thought of wealth with absolute belief and purpose, and refuse to entertain any conflicting thoughts. This mental discipline is what aligns you with the science. It's not about who you are, it's about how you think. Here's where it gets liberating. This science does not care about your current situation. You could be buried in debt, living paycheck to paycheck, unemployed, undervalued, overwhelmed, born in a poor neighborhood, lacking education, connections, or opportunities. None of that matters in the science of getting rich. Because all that matters is whether you are willing to start thinking, and acting, in a certain way. The universe responds not to your past, but to your present thought. That means you can begin shaping a new reality at any moment, simply by shifting your thinking and aligning it with the laws of abundance. This is not fantasy. It's how all wealth is created. Getting rich is not taking, it is creating. Let's bust another myth. Many people believe that in order to become rich, someone else must become poor. That money is limited, and wealth is a competition. Wattles destroys that idea completely. He says, you do not need to drive sharp bargains. You do not need to take anything away from anyone. You do not need to become a master manipulator or play the game of deception. Why? Because wealth is not a zero-sum game. It is not finite. It is created, not taken. When you understand the science, you realize that you can generate value from thought. You can build wealth without taking a single dollar from someone else. In fact, the most powerful wealth is built by adding value, by creating more than you consume. That's what entrepreneurs do. That's what inventors do. That's what artists, leaders, and change-makers do. They use their minds to create something that didn't exist before. And the universe responds to that creation by bringing them wealth. You must begin where you are. Now here's something practical, and critical. You don't have to wait to begin applying the science. You don't need more money to attract money. You don't need a new job, a new degree, a new body, or a new city. You need only one thing, the willingness to begin thinking and acting differently, right now. This means, start thinking about abundance, even if you're broke. Start visualizing success, even if you're struggling. Start holding faith, even if fear still lingers. This is where 99% of people fall short. They wait for external conditions to improve before changing their mindset. But the science works in reverse. You change your mind first, and the world follows. That's the essence of creation. That's how you become the cause of your life, not the effect. Wealth follows law, not luck. Let's recap the big idea: getting rich is not about chance. It is not about privilege or personality. It is about doing things in a certain way, thoughts, actions, and beliefs aligned with the laws of wealth. If you obey the laws of wealth, you will become rich. As surely as night follows day. It's as reliable as gravity. As dependable as math. The challenge is to learn those laws. Trust them. And live by them, even before the money shows up. And that's where most people give up. They want to see results first, then they'll believe. But in this science, belief comes first. And the results follow belief, like a shadow follows your body. The thinking substance responds to you. One final point. Wattles emphasizes that the thinking substance of the universe is conscious. It is not just energy. It is intelligent energy. It responds with precision to the pattern of your thoughts. This means, when you think clearly, it responds clearly. When you waver, it hesitates. When you believe fully, it creates fully. The clearer your vision, the faster it becomes reality. So don't wish. Don't hope. Don't half believe. Know. Know that your thought, when directed with clarity, faith, and action, must manifest in physical form. It is law. It is science. It is truth. A final word, and your call to action. You've now heard one of the most powerful financial truths ever written: you can become rich. Not by luck. Not by chance. But by law. The law is simple: think in a certain way. Act in a certain way. Hold your vision with faith. Refuse doubt. And move forward, boldly, daily, consistently. This is your power. This is your path. And no one can walk it for you. But the moment you decide to live by this science, you activate forces far greater than yourself. So here's your next step: make a decision. Right here, right now. Decide that you will learn this science. Live this science. Master this science. And as you do, your results will speak for themselves. Because wealth, abundance, and freedom are not distant dreams. They are your natural state, when you align with the laws of the universe. You've just taken a major step toward that alignment. Now, keep going. Because the next chapter will take you even deeper into the mechanics of wealth, and it only gets more powerful from here. This is Limitless Growth, and you've been listening to Chapter 2 of The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. If this expanded audiobook-style narration brought clarity to your mind, share this with someone who needs it, and don't forget to subscribe for the next chapter. Remember, success isn't something you chase. It's something you create, by thinking in a certain way. Until next time, stay limitless.